From corrective shoes to combat boots and finish lines, most of us only dream about. This storm of human possibilities has made a life out of defying limits. But before he was a force of nature, he was born without ever meeting his parents, adopted and labeled a special needs kid. He could have accepted that story, but instead, he rewrote it. And before he taught resilience, he lived it. He learned to outswim doubt under Olympic coaching and how to outlast fear in a special ops school where 157 started, but only 7 finished. Becoming an Air Force pararescueman leading missions where courage wasn't optional, risking his life to bring others home from the harshest edges of the world. His mission is simple: prove that what we call impossible is just untrained. Here to help you make impossible your warm up, inspiring men and women to be more and do more than they ever thought possible. Please welcome international speaker, author, mental resilience coach, 12-time Ironman outlier, project and legendary adventurer, the amazing Robert Hamilton Owens.
Hi, everybody. Hey, it's great to be here. Phil, thank you for inviting me to be a part of the Goal Achiever Summit. It's great to see my daughter down here in the far corner, Jessica, and we'll be doing a time together. It'll be real fun. You know, it's so excited to hear what you're all speaking on, and I'm just excited to be a part and see what I can contribute. A little bit on my topic, it's going to be something like 7 steps to accomplishing the impossible. And where that comes from is after my special ops career, as it were, in the military, I became a pastor, went to theology school, got out and planted a church, and went to a city where the largest Protestant church in town out of 600,000 was 300 people. And you didn't move to Reno or Las Vegas to go to church. You go there to act out. And the impossible goal was, can you build something where no one has ever built anything before? And that worked, and it worked on me for 25 years. But the challenge is for me is that most people don't understand what they can do, and they don't understand the talent that's in them unless someone brings it out. The book that I wrote, which I didn't mean to write a book, but somebody told me it'd be better than a business card. I wrote a book called Beyond Average. And the reason I wrote this book was because at 66, I wanted to see if I can get in the same shape that I was back in my pararescue days. And so I found out that I needed to hang out with people who would stretch me. So I joined a group called SEAL Fit with Navy SEAL Commander Mark Devine, and went into a 3-year training period where I had to up my game to see if I could do a 52-hour nonstop Navy SEAL Hell Week experience at 66, be the oldest guy by 40 years. And when I did that, I learned again that I had to leave the people that I was comfortable with to go spend time with people that would stretch me. And the principle that was taught was there's 20 times more potential in you than you've ever allowed someone to bring out of you. And why is it that people don't allow a mentor, a coach, to bring their giftings out? It's because there's too much pain. The pain of social change, the pain of finances, the pain of mental and emotional terror and difficulty. That people say they want to be a winner, but they don't want to be in the battle and fight the battle. And so I learned that if you would embrace a 20X principle and find that person or people who would bring the best out of you and believe in you, you could do things that you never thought possible. One of those things happened with me. I heard John Maxwell speak 40 years ago. And I went up to him and I said, hey, John, I am a leader. I was a leader in the military, but you teach leadership and you make it simple. And I said, I want to hang out with you. And he said, really? I said, will you go to lunch with me? I took him to lunch, paid for the lunch, and he invited me every month to come down to San Diego and be with him 1 day a month. And for 15 years, I traveled with John doing leadership management training around the world. My last trip with John was in Beijing, at Beijing University at the MBA program. And he said to me, Robert, You have so much potential in you, but you need someone like me to bring it out of you. And I said, I've heard that before. Over time, I found myself then seeking out mentors. And I would say that my life is the sum total of the mentors who have challenged me and brought things out of me that the special needs kid with warped thinking, with limiting beliefs, they've all brought things out of me that I didn't know that I had in me. I'm known in four communities. First, as a church planter, as a church guy who grew a church to 3,000 on Easter out of a church. Remember, there were only 300 in the church when I got there. 25 years later, 3,000 folks on two campuses. Second of all, I'm known as that leadership personal coach because I coach endurance athletes and business people. I'm a mental resilient coach. I just got done rowing across the Atlantic Ocean. I'm the oldest American to ever row a boat across the Atlantic Ocean. 43 days, 3,100 miles, rowing 12 hours a day. Longest sleep in 43 days was an hour and 45 minutes. To do some mental endurance work, to work with kids and say, this is the kind of thing that you can do if you get a mentor, if you find the right mentor. And it goes on that now I coach a bunch of folks on a lot of different things. I had a man take me around the world and say, Robert, you're going to teach with me. The last thing I did with him, he said, Robert, I need you to go to Mexico City for me. I said, what do you want me to do? He said, I got a leadership gig down there. You need to go speak. I said, great. We'd done 30 nations together in speaking. He sent me to Mexico City, got off the bus, went to the stadium. Lo and behold, there's 50,000 people in the outdoor arena, and I'm the keynote speaker. He didn't tell me. He just said, go, you'll have a great time. When I came back, I said, you didn't tell me. He said, because you wouldn't go if I told you. You would have freaked out. But you had the potential. I need to put you in the hot spot to just stand in the moment and make it. I said, thank you so much. So if I can talk to this group of people at the Goal Achiever Summit, it's to remind them that they can do more than they think. If they find the right teacher, the right mentors to bring out the right things, and if they're willing to pay the price to go to that next level, everyone can do far more than they think. But it's going to be costly to reach your dream. And so I love to encourage people and I love to help people do things that they don't think they can do. So I'll tell a few stories and I'll give 7 steps to do impossible things. And it's the things that I've learned over the years, how to do stuff that people say, you can't do that. I go, I know. And I do my 7 steps and I do it. And they just shake their head and they say, how do you do it? And I go, well, I got these 7 steps and there's a grid. If I can make it through the 7, I'll probably make it to my goal. Whether it's doing, I'm an original Ironman, one of the original guys. And so whether it's they're telling me I can't do that, or I can't row the boat, or I can't go to 30 nations, or I can't do this, that, I know. But if I do these 7 steps, they always work and they work for anybody. And I love coaching. So I'm looking forward to being with you all and encouraging folks and helping people reach their dreams.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you there. What a blessing that it's going to be able to sit under your teaching and to even just have a little bit of your mentorship, even if it's just for 1 or 2 days. I'm so ready to stand in the moment and make it happen. Thank you so much for being with us today, and I'll see you in sunny Orlando, Florida.
Thank you.